Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through.
Hello and welcome to round 5 of the Castle Combe Junior Karting Championship. We are back up and running with safety measures in place to try and keep our staff and drivers, customers safe. And we have been very well supported with 22 drivers taking part in this round. And here is the grid for the C final with Thomas Hughes and Sam Skellett on the front row of the grid, Ethan Burley and Zachary Mead on the second row, and Thomas Antrobus and John Smith on the third row of the grid. If you are interested in getting involved in karting at Castle Combe, feel free to check out the website castlecombekarting.co.uk. The lights go green and it's a great start from Thomas Hughes, who leads into the first corner. So we see them coming out of the first corner. It's Thomas Hughes leading from Sam Skellett with Ethan Burley in third place. There's a bit of a gap back to Thomas Antrobus in fourth place, but Thomas Hughes opening up a gap out in front already, and he leads from Sam Skellett with Ethan Burley in third. A bit further back to the battle for fourth with Thomas Antrobus in fourth, John Smith in fifth, and Zachary Mead in sixth. As they start the second lap of the race, and it is Thomas Hughes pulling out a big lead already, only on the second lap, and he's already got quite a big lead over Sam Skellett, who is defending from Ethan Burley. They head up towards the top corner. Sam still holding that second place ahead of Ethan Burley, and it does look like Thomas Antrobus is catching back up, so we may well have a 5-car battle here for second place, with the other drivers catching up to Sam. But out in front, Thomas Hughes opening up a massive lead. Brilliant drive this from Thomas. He's under no pressure now, so he should be able to just take the win in this race. But Sam Skellett still fighting for this second place, holding on to the position ahead of Ethan Burley. Thomas Antrobus not quite close enough yet, but they are all closing up onto the battle. Sam gets a little bit sideways there. Ethan runs into the back of him and goes through. There's a little more contact there, but Ethan through into second place. That all came about because Sam made a little bit of a mistake and got sideways, but Ethan through into second place. Sam down to third, and now Thomas Antrobus in fourth. Zachary Mead is up to fifth, so he's made a pass on John Smith, with John in sixth there. But we're watching Sam Skellett in third place now. Ethan looks like he's starting to break away, and there's Zachary Mead having a look up the inside of Thomas Antrobus, but Thomas holds on to that fourth place. We wait for them to come out of the chicane. Ethan now has a little bit of a gap back to Sam Skellett, who also has a gap back to Thomas Antrobus. So the battle now is for fourth place between Zachary Mead and Thomas Antrobus. John Smith just behind in sixth, a little bit sideways there from Zachary, allowing John to close up on him. On the other side of the track, Thomas Hughes is miles out in front. Absolutely perfect race from him. Not put a foot wrong and opened up a massive gap out in front. We see Ethan there coming out of the chicane, and then back to this battle for fourth place with Thomas Antrobus ahead of Zachary Mead. Not close to the move this time, but it looks like they are catching back up to Sam Skellett as well, as they head back down the hill to start the 7th lap of the race. So really just a battle for fourth between those three drivers. Ethan is now safe in second place. Sam not quite so safe, but with a comfortable margin back to fourth, as we see Zachary dive up the inside. It's not worked out. He's hit Thomas Antrobus, and John Smith takes advantage and gets through into fourth place. We see Thomas go through there, and Zachary after that move dropping to the back. As we see Thomas Hughes now on the last lap of the race, coming down to take the checkered flag. Absolutely brilliant race there from Thomas Hughes. Looking back at the battle for third now, Sam Skellett is under pressure from John Smith as they head back down the hill. Ethan Burley is in a safe second place, but will John be able to make a move on Sam? I think Sam is holding him off and takes that third place ahead of John Smith. Here is confirmation of those results then. Thomas Hughes taking the win ahead of Ethan Burley, Sam Skellett in third, John Smith fourth, Thomas Antrobus fifth, and Zachary Mead in sixth. Here we are for the B final now. So this is drivers that were ranked 16th to 9th in the heats and it's Rhys Whitty on pole ahead of Jago O'Neill. Casper Chadwick in third ahead of Leo Corson. Luke Green in fifth. Jacob Haynes in sixth. Eddie Biddle in seventh. And Flynn McCarty taking part in his first round of the championship this season in eighth. Jacob Haynes is also in his first ever round of the championship. We wait for the lights to go green, and they do now. And it looks like a very good start from the back of the grid for Flynn McCarty, gaining a couple of places already. And as they head through the first corner, is Rhys Whitty with the lead ahead of Jago O'Neill, going through it side by side. And there's three abreast in the background, and it looks like one of the drivers has ended up in the wall, but there's a big gap from the top three back to fourth place. So it's Rhys Whitty leading from Jago O'Neill, Casper Chadwick in third, Luke Green in fourth ahead of Flynn McCarty up to fifth from the back of the grid. And there is Leo Corson, who was unfortunately the driver that got caught out in the barrier on that first lap. But the top two now have a big gap back to Casper Chadwick. Luke Green holding on to that fourth place ahead of Flynn McCarty, who dives up the inside. Brilliant move there from Flynn, just getting past. They're still side by side here. And now he makes it stick. Great driving from those two. Flynn up into fourth place. Luke Green down to fifth, and now under pressure from Ellie Biddle as they cross the start line for the third lap of the race. Rhys Whitty with the lead. He's opened up a bit of a gap back to Jago O'Neill. And then there is a big gap back to Casper Chadwick in third. But Flynn McCarty is trying to catch him as we see Ellie Biddle up the inside of Luke Green into the top corner. Luke holds on to that position. So Ellie remains in her position, and Jacob Haynes behind, not quite close enough to challenge, and there Leo's still unfortunately a long way back after that first lap incident. But Rhys Whitty still keeping that lead ahead of Jago O'Neill. The battle for third is closing up with Flynn McCarty catching up to the back of Casper Chadwick, and the battle for fifth place is still close as well, with Luke Green and Ellie Biddle, who's managed to get through now. So Ellie Biddle through at the top corner into fifth place ahead of Luke Green, and Jacob Haynes right behind in seventh. Rhys Whitty still with that lead over Jago O'Neill. He's got a safe gap for Jago not to be able to challenge him, but he's not really breaking away. Flynn having a look up the inside of Casper Chadwick, but not able to find a way through there. So Casper holds on to that third place, and Ellie Biddle there in fifth now ahead of Luke Green, with Jacob Haynes in seventh. They're all spreading out a little bit and onto the other side, and it does look like Rhys Whitty has opened up that gap a bit more now. So we go back to the battle for third, and it is Flynn McCarty in front now. So Flynn up into third from eighth on the grid. That is a brilliant drive. I don't think he'll be able to catch the leading two as they are a long way ahead, but third is a brilliant result from eighth on the grid as they start the seventh lap of the race now. Ellie is in a safe fifth place. Jacob Haynes looks like he's catching Luke Green a little bit for that sixth place. But as they head up towards the top corner, Jago O'Neill still in that second place. Not close enough to challenge Rhys Whitty as they head back down the hill to start the last lap of the race. Great drive from both of these two. Not quite close enough to challenge at the moment as they start the last lap of the race. There is Leo Corson. Unfortunately, a bit of a lonely race after that first lap. We watch Flynn McCarty and Casper Chadwick up the hill, but back over to Rhys Whitty as he heads down to take the checker flag. Brilliant drive from Rhys Whitty ahead of Jago O'Neill. Flynn McCarty with that brilliant drive from 8th up into 3rd place. Casper Chadwick wasn't able to hold him off and takes 4th. And Ellie Biddle also made good progress from 7th on the grid to take 5th. So here is confirmation of those results with Rhys Whitty taking the win ahead of Jago O'Neill. Flynn McCarty in 3rd, Casper Chadwick 4th, Ellie Biddle 5th, Luke Green in 6th. So now on to the grand final, and it is Ben Frankham who lines up on pole position ahead of Bertie Thomas. Ryan Taylor and Leo Bell share the 2nd row of the grid with Luke Cridland in 5th, Jake Holly the championship leader in 6th, Jamie Watson in 7th and Freddie Watts in 8th. Lights go green and it's a good start from Ben Frankham as they head into the first corner. Ben holds that lead, and as they head through the chicane, it is Ben leading from Ryan Taylor, who is up into 2nd place ahead of Bertie Thomas. Luke Cridland behind in fourth, having a move up, and it looks like Bertie Thomas has gone for the move. There's contact there. He's hit Ryan Taylor, and Ryan has lost a place to Luke Cridland as well. So that is unlucky for Ryan Taylor there. So the rest of the drivers head down to start the second lap of the race. And it looks like there is a black and white flag being readied, which I will assume is for that move into the top corner. But Ben Frankham out in front has that lead, and he's already got a comfortable margin back to Bertie Thomas. Luke Cridland in third ahead of Ryan Taylor, with Leo Bell in fifth. So they head down the hill, and there is a black and white flag being shown to... Oh, and there is a crash for Luke Cridland. He is in the wall, and Ryan Taylor is stuck behind Freddie Watts. Avoids the incident, but that has taken both of them out of contention. Ryan Taylor continues ahead of Luke Cridland. But big advantage there for Jamie Watson, who is now up into third place. So the black and white flag we saw to Bertie Thomas, that is a 2-place penalty. So this is now technically the battle for second between Jamie Watson and Leo Bell, with Bertie Thomas holding that second place on the road. But Ben Frankham is very safe out in front, driving brilliantly there. Jamie Watson in that third place, and Leo Bell under pressure now from Jake Holly. Jake Holly, the championship leader, trying to find a way through into that fourth place, which will move up to third place after the black and white flag at the end of the race. And Ryan Taylor there in seventh, and Luke Cridland in eighth. And now, three-way battle for this third place. Jamie Watson, Leo Bell, and Jake Holly diving up the inside of Leo Bell there, and he is through. Great move there from Jake Holly, up into fourth position, and now going to be trying to find a way through past Jamie Watson. Freddie Watts heading back down the hill in sixth place. He looks pretty safe in his position. With Jamie Watson now under pressure from Jake Holly as they head up towards the top corner. Jake Holly dives up the inside, and there's contact. Jamie Watson spins out. Leo Bell takes advantage through into third place. Jamie Watson continues in fourth alongside Jake Holly, but I think there will be a penalty flag for that incident. And there is the black and white flag to Jake Holly, and Jake will also lose 2 places. So Leo Bell now in a safe third place. Jamie Watson holding on to that fourth place ahead of Jake Holly, and Freddie Watts has caught up quite a bit, but is still not quite close enough to challenge. But out in front, Ben Frankham has had a faultless race, setting really fast lap times every single lap to pull away out in front. And Bertie Thomas lost second on that first lap, is never close enough to challenge as Ben Frankham comes through to take the checker flag. But we are now watching this battle for fourth place between Jamie Watson and Jake Holly. They head down towards the checkered flag. Jamie Watson just holds on to that fourth place ahead of Jake Holly. Freddie Watts comes through in sixth ahead of Ryan Taylor in seventh, and Luke Cridland in eighth. So here is confirmation of the results. Bertie Thomas and Jake Holly both got black and white flags, so Leo Bell moves up to second, Jamie Watson up to third, and Freddie Watts and Ryan Taylor up to fifth and sixth. Ben Frankham took the fastest lap of the day to get the bonus point for fastest lap, so he takes a maximum 51 points today, and he is now just 3 points behind Jake Holly in the championship. Jamie Watson in third, Luke Green in fourth, Casper Chadwick in fifth, Thomas Hughes in sixth, Ryan Taylor in seventh, and Sam Skellett in eighth. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully see you again soon for round 6.